So just a couple of other things about the mediation session today. Sometimes in mediation, it's helpful for me, it may be helpful for me to speak with you separately. You can ask for that, or I can bring it up and you can let me know whether that would work for you. I could speak with both sides, I could speak with one side. So that's an option, and sometimes that helps people to just have some one-on-one time to get clear about their own next steps in the mediation. You also can certainly ask for a break at any time that you'd like to. Sometimes that's helpful as well. And if at any time you want to speak to your attorneys, or attorneys you want to speak to your clients, that's perfectly fine as well. Just let us know, let me know, and we'll do that. We'll take that break and give you the time that you need to talk with your client or your attorney. Just a couple of other things. Sometimes in mediation, parties set some guidelines or ground rules for the way that they would like the conversation to go. I don't know if that's something that you would like to do, so I'm checking in with you to see if that is something. Are there any specific things that you would like to agree to before you enter the conversation, or things that would help you to have this conversation in a more comfortable way?
We definitely want to limit the scope of the conversation to the matters at hand. Again, we're
That's appropriate.
hoping, obviously, hoping that it's, we'll see what happens, but we want to reserve our right to go in another direction should this not reach a resolution.
I have no problem in that regard. We've already been going in another direction. We have litigation that's ongoing, so certainly, as we sit here today, if we can focus on what we can do about that, I think that would be appropriate. After I had my discussion with you, my understanding is that we're here to have a conversation, and as long as we can have that conversation, that's fine. I don't think there are any necessarily limits or preconceptions that we're coming in with in that regard.
Okay, so
I want a conversation with Tom about what's happening here, about what's happened to my building, about what it's been doing to my reputation, about the damages I've suffered. I've spent a lot of time trying to reach him, get through to him, have an opportunity to actually hear from him what he thinks, what is going on, and so on. To me, that is a really critical part of us getting anywhere. I mean, part of the reason I'm here is to have a conversation with Tom. And I understand I'm represented by counsel, and Tom, you're represented by counsel, and that's probably going to change the way we'd have a conversation, but it is important to me to hear from you.
Well, I think go ahead. I was going to say that there's only one basic problem with that, is that you started a lawsuit here, and that is the salient issue that we have at hand.
I think the salient issue here is, do you want to settle this case with me? And if you do, he needs to talk to me.
I think that the issue is not whether we settle the case here. The issue from our perspective is whether you're going to eliminate this case and get rid of this case.
So right off the bat, you're really talking...
He has to talk to me. Whatever it is you think the outcome is supposed to be, if he sits mute, it's not going to happen.
So right from the very beginning, I'm hearing a little bit of some differences in the way that you're choosing to have this conversation. There's some differences about whether or not this case is going to settle and what's going to happen in this mediation session to support that. Mr. Haskins, I hear you saying that since Ms. McFarland started the lawsuit, that's why you're here today. Those are the things that you're going to focus on, and that's what really matters in the way that this mediation takes place. And Ms. McFarland, you're saying in order for this to get to settlement or get anywhere for you at all, you really have to hear from Tom directly. That's why you're here today. You want to have that conversation directly with him.
If I wanted to talk to his lawyer, I'd let